And we're back with the Classic Auto Mall Show from the Classic Auto Mall studio in Morgantown, Pennsylvania, joined by our friend Keith Martin, publisher of Sports Car Market Magazine. Good evening, Keith.
Yeah, good morning,
Morning. I don't know what day it is anymore. So, how you been? Everything good?
Everything's good. We shipped as I told you last week, the December issue of our 37th year.
Do you get to take a break? Do you take a breather? Or do you say, okay, now we got a little breathing?
I did that Friday.
And then that's it. Then Monday, it's all over.
This week we started on issue number 1, year 38.
38. It'll be 40 will be here before we know it, won't it?
40 will be here, and we'll have a celebration. Maybe you and I could do a double extended session.
I think we should absolutely do that. I think that is. But go ahead and put that on the calendar, guys. That'll do. We'll have to remember that. We should definitely do that in a special anniversary. We'll have cake and ice cream and all that other stuff. So,
and you and I can do 40 1-minute segments of what really matters in the collector car world.
Ooh, are we prepared to retire immediately after that? Because we may just make everybody in the whole hobby mad.
Either that, or we will charge $1 each for people to watch it.
I like that. I like that even better. So we do that times how many people? Yeah, there'd be some, almost enough to run away to. Well, you don't want to run away to Jamaica, but anywhere else, whew, man, they got pounded. Isn't that awful?
Yeah, they got pounded.
And we'll lose more collector cars because of that, because there's collector cars on the island that will, it's amazing the attrition that happens in the hobby that you just forget about. You think, oh, natural disasters are one of the biggest enemies to the hobby, or the biggest friend if you're a guy who has something really rare and, there's only 10 of them left and 8 of them perish.
I was watching a car on Bring a Trailer. It was a Ferrari 400i, and it said, water only came up to the rockers at the flood.
I love the explanation for flood damage titles where it says flood damage. The guy said, no, we just left the top down and it rained on it a little bit. No, right. They don't flood damage it for that. So
I don't think it affected the electrics.
No, at all. No, because they're not affected by anything like that. So bringing your blog to life is what we do every week. And this week, the title to your blog is The Leaf Blower 10,000. Are we racing leaf blowers?
I know. I couldn't resist. Could you?
No, I love that. Absolutely love it.
Basically, what I was reflecting on was that there seem to be more and more of these kind of casual tours popping up.
Right.
So on the one hand, you got the California Millie at $15,000, and then you have the Leaf Flogger 1000 at $40.
Right. And it doesn't necessarily mean where you are economically, where you can participate in one of those. You can be the rich guy and have your nice car and still go to the $40 one. You're not going to be ashamed to be there. And of course, you can't take your AMC Pacer to the Mille either.
I've had 2 AMC Pacers.
Well, I got to write that down, so I'll never forget that.
And I sold one to McKeel Hagerty, who then customized it.
Oh, no. Does he still have it, I wonder?
I don't know. Or does he? Would he admit to it?
Right. It's buried in the back 40, as they used to say.
Yeah. No, I think there's from the response I got to my blog, there are enough people who are tired of cars and coffee not having any driving.
Right.
Because it's a sedentary event. You arrive, you walk around, you kick tires, you go home.
Yeah.
So the question I have is whether we could do a once a month, run what you brung. An event, say that was a 2 or 2.5 hour drive to a lunch, and then you're done.
I love that. I think that's a brilliant idea because people are very protective of their time and the time that they allot certain things and family time and all that and is important. And if you play golf, it's 5.5 hours. And if you do a regular tour, it's like you said, it's a week or 10 days or whatever. And nobody has that kind of free time anymore.
I also think people like driving their cars.
Well, true that. Yeah, that's no question about that at all.
And now we have the question, the weather's turned bad. And so do we have coupes only? Do you have your bad weather classic car?
Or you could have your Jeep Grand Wagoneer from 1989 or 91 for the last year of them. Or you could have an old Scout, or you could have an old Bronco. Maybe we could theme every month,
just once a month and casual and, just somebody produce a route list.
Yeah. Or October, you do orange and black cars only. So you got the whole Halloween theme.
Good idea.
Yeah. So, I'm full of these good ideas, Keith.
Yeah. I just think we're it's okay for us to figure out something that's a little bit out of the box and that's really easy. This leaf flogger thing starts at 10 a.m.
Yeah, not at the crack of dawn. You don't have to be there at 6 a.m.
Right.
You start to, and around here, no different than around where you live. There's wonderful roads. There's so many wonderful routes that you could take. You could do 100 of these and do a different route every time and never hardly cross the same road.
I agree with that.
Yeah. And your part of the world is the same way. There's wonderful roads, and it could be quite a little movement. And maybe you become part of the club, and you're a card carrying member, and you come, when you can. And how fun would that be? I think this sounds like fun, and just another thing on our plate to deal with, right?
Yeah, I was going to ask you to just take care of it.
Okay, I'll spearhead this.
We'll send out the email.
Well, I'll send one too. We have a few emails as well.
The danger part here at this time of year is wet leaves on the road.
Oh yeah. Now, so it might be something interesting that you could have somebody run the route the morning of and text everybody any alerts that were along the way, be it a tree falling across the road or leaves on the ground or something like that, where you would have somebody who could do a little reconnaissance that morning.
I belong to the Range Rover Club here, and my favorite thing about that club is that people carry chainsaws on our runs.
Because they know.
Because that kind of thing happens.
It happens. It's not just like a once in a lifetime event. It happens a lot. Enough where you say, right. Boy, I'm going to need a chainsaw. I tell you, I'm not a huge fan of electric vehicles, but you know what I'm a huge fan of that's electric? Appliances, things like that. I am so thankful that I don't have to stand there for 30 minutes to crank my leaf blower 1000 to get it going with that gas engine, and I'm over there for I'm mad. It's nice that it just turns on automatically.
I'm happy for you.
You don't own a leaf blower, do you?
I don't. I live in a condo.
I know. Well, you got to get the leaves off that balcony somehow.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on it.
Well, keep me posted on that. So I like that idea. And I think, like you said, or like we said, you kind of theme it to do these once a month or once a week or once every 2 weeks rallies. And then and the restaurant would love it. You go to some different restaurant every time. And
and you get the car clubs involved. So, if you get 7 or 8 people from the Jag Club, from the Alpha Club, from the Porsche Club, you've got enough right there.
That's plenty. 30, 40 cars is probably, you would probably want to cap it at about that. You're not many restaurants will be able to take you on a Sunday anyway, at noon after church and all that good stuff. But I really like that idea. I think that because, like you said, the Cars and Coffee is static, and that's why people don't normally stick around. I mean, I'll take a Cars and Coffee over a traditional car show any day because I'm not going to stand there from 8 o'clock in the morning until 4 o'clock in the afternoon, regardless. Yeah. And then the evolution is the Cars and Coffee, where you're there for as long as you want. You want to be there an hour or 2 or whatever, and that's fine. This is evolution number 3, where we say, instead, it's going to be a Cars and Coffee, but we gather for a few minutes, and then away we go.
Yeah, you just need a dedicated person assigned to it.
Yeah. So, Keith, is that you? See, I was trying to throw it back on you.
Right after our 40th anniversary.
Okay. All right. We'll plan on that. Somebody will have stolen our idea by then. So, and hey, you know what? I don't put ideas out there unless I'm okay if somebody steals the idea and does it.
These guys can steal it, go broke, and then we can pick up the pieces.
We can pick up for pennies on the dollar.
We can buy all their little signs and buttons and hats and things really cheap.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? These poor guys put so much money into some of that stuff. They don't realize that even putting on a little event like that doesn't sound like much, is a lot more work and expense than you realize.
Well, we did 4 SCM 1000s, 3 or 4. And by the last one, it was post-COVID. The cost of hospitality and swag and room and all that, it was costing us $400,000 to put on the route.
Yeah, it's just not worth it. I mean, it's as much as we love this thing, we have to make sure that the bottom line is not completely obliterated.
Yep. Yeah. And you have to find a balance between, do people want a 5-star hotel or do they just want a great road?
Yeah. I mean, how many nights in a row can you eat, lobster Newburgh? Well, I don't know why I said that, but you know what I mean? How many nights a week can you eat a rich food 5-star restaurant without just being completely miserable for the rest of the month?
Yeah, or needing overload springs on your car.
Yeah, exactly. Especially, so, that's funny that you mentioned that. We talk about all the time about the right car for the right person. And we had a guy the other day who was like 6'8" and was interested in one of our smaller cars. And I said, the first thing I said to the guys was, you better have him sit in it, because there's no sense in wasting time with him, because he's probably not going to fit in it. And now you've wasted his time and our time. And lo and behold, They said, why don't you sit in it first? And he was too big for it. You got to have the right car. If you haven't had an opportunity, even if you're buying something long distance, find a club, find somebody local where you can go and actually sit in one of them and make sure that it feels right to you. Doesn't mean it's going to be the exact same car, but whether it's too big, too small, whatever, what have you. That's
one of the strange things in our business, Stewart, is that we so rarely test drive before we buy.
I'm guilty of it too. I mean, I went and bought a BMW M3 at the local dealer and didn't even test drive it. My wife said, are you stupid? I mean, it's right here. They're offering you a test drive and you're telling them no. I said, I know I want it. I don't want it to change. I don't want to drive it and change my mind at this point in time. I've made the commitment. I'm going to buy it. I wanted it. So I'm not going to let some pesky, I don't like the way it drives, get in the way of that.
I used to do car inspections for people, and I'd go look at a car and I'd say, well, it's got some rust and it's got this, and the client would say to me, are you trying to bust my deal?
I want to buy this car. Don't ruin it for me. Tell me it's all perfect. I'm never going to see the underside of this thing anyway, so it won't matter. So anyway, as always, a pleasure to have you on. And
my treat.
We will look forward, Keith, to seeing you next week on the Classic Car Show.
And thanks for signing up to sponsor these tours.
We're trying to think of a new thing to call our show, and we can't quite figure it out. So just the Classic Car Show, so it's so generic that nobody will ever remember it.
Not the Leaf Blower 1000?
Probably not. We'll see you next week, Keith Martin. Take care.
Here's a special offer from Sports Car Market Magazine. Get a 6-month subscription for just $19.95 by going to sportscarmarket.com/test drive and the number 6. That's sportscarmarket.com/test drive 6. If you're a buyer, a seller, or just general classic car enthusiast, publisher Keith Martin says,
we've been around almost 40 years. It's the Wall Street Journal of the collector car world.
Activate your 6-month trial of Sports Car Market Magazine by going to sportscarmarket.com/test drive 6. Offers for a limited time. Be in the know with Sports Car Market.
The Classic Auto Mall Show with their host, Stewart Howden. Available on classicautomall.com, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts.